Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Moss Jackson, Mondays with Moss. It's Wednesday, which is my follow-up to my broadcast this past Monday. Recently I've been talking about a series of tools you can use from my Navigating for Success toolkit for living a great life, a life of success, happiness, and accomplishment. You can't do it if you don't know what's going on, and we're often blinded by invisible forces, particularly our negative beliefs and really negative perspective. So this past week, I'm really going back a few weeks, I think I first talked about one of the tools called resilience. Then I talked about empathy. And third, I think this is really the most important, which is becoming self-aware. If you're not aware, if you can't see what's going on, you cannot succeed. Hi, Tom. It's kind of like if you're a baseball player, like a batter, and you can't recognize when the ball comes off the pitcher's fingertips that it's going to be a curveball, you're going to strike out every time. You have to become aware of what that ball is doing. If you're not aware in life of how you're behaving and why people are reacting the way they're doing, and you're not getting what you really want, you're not self-aware. Excuse me. So self-awareness simply has to do with the ability to see yourself clearly. If not, you react unconsciously. So one way in which we often become unaware, which is a sign that you're unaware, is you don't really express the real feeling, the authentic feeling. You don't express the feeling you're feeling. Instead, you go to frustration, anger, complaining, blaming, or just being defensive. So I want to give you an example. I'm recently working with a high school senior, just started school, and got himself kicked out of school, suspended for a week, because he got caught smoking and carrying drug paraphernalia. He knew the rule, but he thought he could get away with it. He took a chance, broke it. The interesting thing, when I was talking with him last week about it, he said that goddamn principal, he started cursing, getting really angry and frustrated with the principal, blaming the principal. Why? Because the punishment did not fit the crime. So he went to anger and blame rather than saying he screwed up. So I listened to him for a little bit, acknowledged his feelings, and then said, look, I got to tell you, you're 17, you're a senior. How do you want to do this? You want to go through school getting kicked out, disappointing your parents, really coming across like a jerk? Or do you want to take some responsibility? When you graduate, do you want to look at your parents in the audience smiling at you because you're able to succeed? So after I acknowledged him, I confronted his irresponsible behavior. I said, you're blaming, you're attacking, you're not taking any responsibility. So he then, as we talked, he said, I'm really feeling disappointed in myself. I'm really angry at myself. I feel like a jerk. Can't believe it. Second day of school, I get myself kicked out. The good news is he was able to become more self-aware with some coaching and some probing. And as a result, I said to him, so do you want to continue this? Because you could continue lying and manipulating. You will get kicked out because you're just not that smart. Or you can start to change your behavior. You may not know how. That's my job, to teach you how to change your behavior if you really want it. If you want it, we can do it. It's your call. You want to be a jerk? Want to act out? Get kicked out of school again? Maybe expelled? Or do you want to graduate with some sense of dignity and pride? He said, I really want to do, I want to improve, I don't know how. I really smiled at him. I said, I'm so proud of you. I can help you do that. But I needed to know, if I invite you into my door, into my office room and say, that's work, you're going to say yes. You said yes. So here are some things that you might do to become more self-aware. This is some of the tools from the toolkit of becoming more self-aware. Acknowledge that you can strike out in anger and frustration when you're confronted with something you don't want to hear. Maybe you need to come back later and say, listen, I'm really sorry I lost my temper and snapped out at you. I have a hard time hearing things that point to my mistakes. I get embarrassed. I got to tell you, you do that, you will command respect. People will not laugh at you. They will command respect. I can speak to that based upon my own personal experiences growing up. Number two, you can make a list of the things you've done, your mistakes, the lies you've done, the betrayals, the blaming, the cop-outs, the hurting others, the times you've avoided. Just make a list. Do it for this past year. Do it for the last decade. I mean, just make a list so you can be confronted with your pathetic behavior. It's hard to use that word, but it really is, because it's just self-defeating. Because if you can make a list and really hi, Dave. So if you can make a list and recognize it, at least you become aware, and then maybe you have the backbone to say, wow, that's me. I don't like that. I need to change. Another thing you can do is make a list of your triggers. What do people do in your life that turn you into a biting dog, a snapping dog? You snap back instead of saying, wow, tell me more about that. That's hard to hear, but I need to hear that because I'm committed to becoming the best person possible because I want to live an extraordinary life. I can't do it if I'm blind and not self-aware. So your triggers are very helpful. You may not know what to do about it, but we'll talk about that. Okay? Hey, Paul, good to see you. Also, lastly, make a list of your strengths, your weaknesses, what you like about yourself, what you don't like about yourself. Just make a list. All this is about becoming more aware. It's not about radically changing yourself. We'll get to that later with other tools in the toolkit. But right now, a very important tool is become self-aware. And to do that, you really have to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is this the kind of person I really want to be? Because if you can recognize it and have the backbone to say, I'm screwing up, I'm doing some things that are causing me pain and others pain, that's called integrity. That's called accountability. And then we can do something about it. So anyway, welcome to Mondays with Moss. Again, this is a follow-up to my presentation on past Monday on being self-aware. This coming Monday is Memorial Day, so I won't be broadcasting. I'll probably broadcast a short one on Wednesday, but then I'll follow it up with a week from Wednesday after Labor Day, on your toolkit to become a master of self-awareness. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait to share my ideas with you and my tools. So in the meantime, go about your business, do what you do. If you start to get defensive and get snappy with people, take a step back and say, what am I doing? Why am I behaving this way? Can I hear what this person is saying, or do I have to protect myself and die on this hill called no one confronts me and gives me any bad news? Okay? Hopefully you're not a Velcro for bad news. You can hear it, breathe into it, and just recognize it. We'll get to what you can do about it later. Okay, folks? Anyway, I won't see you for a little while. Happy Labor Day. It's moving past summer. I'm feeling a little sad that this is finishing up, but it's not been a bad summer, at least for me. Been down the shore a lot, been giving my broadcasts from here, from my beach house, really enjoying thinking about what I want to share with you. So let's navigate together. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.